Hey, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a deck profile for branded Shaddoll. Now, I do run a small Dogmatica engine, so hopefully you guys do enjoy it, and if you do, consider leave a like, comment if any questions or suggestions, always nice to see, and if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Very close to 400 subscribers, so it'd be really awesome to hit that milestone, and thanks to everybody that has stuck around, but let's go ahead and get right into the deck profile. So, starting off with 3 Fallen Valbaz. Now, you can try it out at 2 if you like that ratio better. I just like having Elbaz accessible at all times for branded fusion, of course. And if you're in a situation where you kind of brick and you can just normal summon it and then get a fusion summon using him and your opponent's monsters is pretty nice. Then 3 Elever, just to get your branded fusions when it's normal or special summoned, or you're branded in red, depending on what your hand is looking like. Then 2 Tragedy. I like it at 2 in this specific build just because, of course, if you open it with branded opening, you get multiple effects off. You get to special summon your Jester and get your monster to your hand. You either add another Eleber or you could add the Dramaturge. And then, of course, the Tragedy lets you banish it from the graveyard and then set one of your branded spells or traps. So very strong. And of course, 1 Dramaturge, being able to have a negate on board is very strong, and you can just get it off with it being fusion summoned. It just gets to get special summoned even if it's banished, so very strong overall. That'll do it for the Despia and Fallen Valbaz part of the deck. For the Shaddolls, we got 3 Windy, very strong. If it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, you get to special Shaddoll. If it's flipped, you get to special summon a Shaddoll from the deck in both instances, so very nice. 2 Squamata, sorry. If it's sent by card effect, you get to send an additional Shaddoll card to the graveyard, so even your spells and your Schism, or Windy in most cases, just to get those plays going. 2 Hedgehog. If it's set and flipped, you get to add a Shaddoll spell or trap. And if it's sent by card effect, you get an additional Shaddoll monster from your deck to your hand, except for Hedgehog, of course. So very nice, just have an extra name if you need it. For the 1-up Shaddolls, we got 1 Beast and 1 Dragon. Of course, Beast for extra draw power, Dragon for some back row hate. And then Dragon also has the effect where if it's flipped, you get to return 1 face-up card your opponent controls. So pretty cool. That'll do it for the Shaddolls. For the small Dogmatica engine, we got 1 Ecclesia, 1 Fleur-de-Lis, and 1 Maximus. Ecclesia is going to get all your other cards to your hand. Fleur-de-Lis is a nice negate, and Maximus is probably the best Dogmatica card for this specific build, because you can banish one of your extra deck monsters from your graveyard, special summon him, then make both you and your opponent send 2 cards from your extra deck to the graveyard. So not only in certain matchups you can mess with your opponent's resources and get pluses with yours, sending the branded dragons and all that to the graveyard, and even your Shaddoll monsters. And then for the last monster in the deck, we got 1 Fairy Tale Snow. Being able to send it off of Shaddoll Fusion or branded fusion, just setting it up in the graveyard is always strong. Then for the spells, 3 branded opening, 3 branded fusion, just a better Shaddoll fusion realistically. Then 2 branded in red. If you have your graveyard set up, you can set it or extend during your turn, going into your Guardian Chimera or just one of your other Despia monsters. Very strong. For the Shaddoll fusions, we got 2 regular Shaddoll fusion and 2 El Shaddoll fusion. Now, I'm not too sure how I like that ratio at the moment, but as of right now, that's what I'm keeping it at. I might take El Shaddoll down to 1, I'm not too sure as of right now, and 2 Super Poly. So if I do end up taking El Shaddoll fusion down to 1, I'll probably throw in a 3rd Super Poly. Just strong overall, not only with Fallen Valbaz, your Shaddoll monsters, your Despia monsters. It's just very strong if your opponent is playing a deck that you can utilize their monsters as well. Then 2 Nadir Servant, just to send extra deck monsters to the graveyard and get your Dogmatica engine You can do this towards the end of your turn, or if you open up poorly, this can be kind of a play starter. Then 1 Call by the Grave for the last spell. Just being able to stop hand traps is always nice. And then 1 Shaddoll Schism to round off the main deck. For the extra deck really quickly, we got 2 Winda. Very nice if you're able to open it up and your opponent does not have the answer. For some decks, it can just be an auto win, so very nice. Then 2 Apocalone. Strong, you want to have 2 at least to not only send off of your Dogmatica cards or Nadir Servant or anything like that to get the add of Schism, but if you're able to use it Schism to bring it out, then negate a monster on the field or a face-up card on the field. Very nice. Then 2 Lebellion and 2 Albion. Just nice for your branded fusions, and of course Albion, if it's sent to the graveyard during the end phase, you can set or add a branded spell from your deck to your hand. Just 1 Masquerade. The extra deck is pretty tight since you're running the Shaddoll fusions. 1 Quiritus. Technically, you can take this out and put in a second Masquerade if that's the type of build you want to try out. 1 Titanclad, 2 El Shaddoll Construct, 1 Mirror Jade, and 1 Guardian Chimera to round off the extra deck. Like I was saying, the extra deck is pretty tight, so you can mess around with the ratios, whatever you feel comfortable with. If you want to run more Shaddoll monsters or more branded monsters, or the branded dragons, of course. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy, and like I was saying, if you have any suggestions, if you've been playing a deck similar to this, go to those in the comment section down below. Always nice to see. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.